Okay, so quick follow-up to my last video about the State Department cable dated March 10, 2017, and its instructions regarding immigrant and non-immigrant visa handling. What are called follow to join family members for someone who's already here and been granted either refuge or asylum are also discussed in this cable. If you're following to join an asylee, the instructions are not in this cable. If you're following to join a refugee and are therefore going to be admitted as a refugee yourself, then the suspension of the U.S. refugee program for 120 days applies to you. And those cases, by instruction in this cable, are to be halted at the National Visa Center and not sent to the consulate post to conduct the necessary, one-on-one interviews with the potential family member following to join the family member already granted refugee status. And it's clear that they're going to do something for family members of asylees, because they reference it, it's just not addressed in this particular cable. So what this means is that if you are following to join refugee family member, your case is in limbo because your case file literally is at the National Visa Center, which is like this clearinghouse in the United States where your case goes to be verified that everything has been assembled before it gets transmitted to the consulate post in whatever country it is that your interview is going to be scheduled in. If the case file literally never can get sent to the consulate, you are dead in the water, is what that means. Because literally the National Visa Centers in the United States, the consular post is in some other country, right? They can't hold an interview. Even if you went in person to the consulate and demanded that they do, they don't have the file, right? And this is for following to join family members of a refugee. A refugee is someone who has been granted refugee status from outside the United States to come into the United States as a refugee, someone who's been granted refuge. That is distinct from someone who's been granted asylum. Someone who's been granted asylum was in the United States when they asked for that status to begin with. The criteria are basically the same for the two statuses. It's just all dependent upon whether you are already physically present in the U.S. or whether you're outside knocking on the door, proverbially speaking. You're not actually present at the border usually when you ask. So, like I said, some kind of handling for following to join family members of people granted asylum is going to be addressed in a future cable, and I'm looking at going through all the cables. So I'll report back when I know more. And this has been Attorney C.J. Vitale, immigration practitioner in private practice in the Boston area. Thank you.